Morning, guys.
Good morning out there.
We are live here at Janice's Serenity in Granite.
It's a great spot. I came in actually for the first time, if you can believe it, last night. And it was such a warm, welcoming space. I felt like I could just come in and hang out with Janice, have some tea.
Well, you know, it's funny. We got here this morning, and it was like, I don't know why I would expect it to be like cold and like freezing because no one was in here, but it's so, like, it really is. It felt like home.
It's cozy in here, is what you're trying to say.
There's like a little fireplace here. She's got a diffuser.
And a Christmas tree.
And she actually just brought this little Grinch tree in, and we're going to give that away.
At the end of the show.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think it's so important too, especially in a business like this, to have a space that's warm, that's welcoming. I would feel totally comfortable coming into this space, at those touchy times, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is, if you're not sure, Serenity in Granite is a monument. So Janice designs customized monuments. So,
and they're fantastic. She's so creative.
Yeah, and there's so many different options. Like, this is before I started working with Janice in other areas, I had no idea what all goes into something like this.
And that's why it's so important to reach out to experts, I suppose you could say, in a certain field, because when situations arise like this, where you would need Janice's service, she is like the expert. She's the go-to, and you need somebody like that on your side, especially in moments that are emotional, right?
That's right. So what monuments, like they used to call them, what they used to call them? Headstones?
Wasn't it like tombstones or something like that?
Tombstones. So they call them monuments now. So if someone were to pass away, like a loved one, then you would go and see someone like Janice to help you figure out what the next step is. And like most of us have no idea. Like I certainly had no idea before I started talking to Janice. And it's so important, I think, to plan ahead, or at least to know, because we're all going to go through a time in our life where someone passes on. Mm-hmm. So to have no idea going into it, and then you're kind of like in shock, or you're flustered, you don't know where to go or what to do, it'd be a good idea to know now. So
have a plan.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Then you just execute the plan. That's our fitness advice always, right?
That's right.
One more thing that I wanted to mention that's super cool that I didn't know before coming into Janice's shop, or before Drew started working with Janice, was that you can also have tributes to your pet, because our pets are our families. They are members in our families, and there's so many options here at Serenity in Granite where you can come in and you can choose a special way to remember your pet. So they have little urns. Is that what we call them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Grab one.
Grab one? Okay, because they're so cool.
They're pretty cool. I had no idea about these things, by the way. So there's all kinds of different ones.
But this is just one example of one. A little one for a pet.
Yeah, so you can like memorialize your pet, and you can maybe put it somewhere in your house, or who knows, or maybe you can even bury these.
Yeah.
So they're pretty cool. There's all kinds of different ones. Anyways, that's it. That's definitely interesting. Mm-hmm. So we got some comments coming on. We have some viewers.
See who's in here.
Chantel, say good morning, Drew and Dorothy.
Good morning, Chantel.
Good morning to you, Chantel. Good morning, Louise.
Hey, Louise.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Louise, how was your hike this week?
Was
it a little snowy?
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy.
Sandy said, I'll watch the replay. No problem, Sandy. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for jumping in and saying hi, Sandy.
And Shauna's in here.
Hey, Shauna.
Hi, Shauna. And there's a few other people, so if you're here, let us know. We'd love to say hi.
Shauna says, hi, Janice. So appreciate your expertise in kind, loving care when we needed it.
Thanks for sharing that, Shauna.
Yes, Shauna.
Janice is pretty awesome. She's like a family member that you've always known. So, yeah, if you guys have questions, maybe about this business, we'll definitely help out as much as we can. We'll get Janice to answer your questions as well later on.
You know what we should do is we should put a link to Janice's Facebook page in our comments.
That is a great
So
idea.
that you can go and like Janice's page, and if you need Janice's help, you have a connection to her Facebook page where you can contact her. You can also pop in to the business here, and Janice is always here.
Well, actually, I think it's
Right?
by appointment.
Oh, it's by appointment. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Janice. So call and make an appointment.
I'm sure
Thanks,
she's
Janice.
often here, but I think it's by appointment. Maybe Janice can clear that up when she watches this replay, or if she's with us now.
Yeah, but you can always, we'll put up her Facebook page here. You can like the page, and then you can always contact her through the Facebook page as well.
Well, that's a crazy link. Let me know
Did
if
it
that.
work?
Let me know if that takes you to her page. I'm gonna pull it on the screen there. That
Yeah.
should take you to her Facebook page.
That should
there.
go to Janice's page, and you can go ahead and like her Facebook page. She puts up some great posts of what she's working on, so it's always nice to see.
Yeah, Janice and I have done some videos together, and we've done some other social media stuff together. So it's always exciting when you get to work with other businesses and help them grow. But her page is awesome. She's got all kinds of really cool information, especially in this what would you niche or genre or business that many of us don't know about. At least that's how I feel. I feel like most people don't know about it until you have to know about it. So I just think that we'd be so much better off if we knew in advance, like kind of what you're getting yourself into, or at that time, at a challenging time, who you have, what resources can help out.
Yeah, because like you said, Drew, it's such a challenging time, emotional time when this service is needed. So if you have already a plan in place, then you just have to execute the plan, I suppose, as opposed to making difficult decisions when you're already having a tough time.
That's right. So we are going to be talking about holiday guilt. That's a big one.
I have to give a shout out to Lindsay Luff on this one, because Lindsay's one of my good friends in New Brunswick. We've been friends forever, and I was talking to her. She's in New Brunswick, so of course she's 3 hours ahead of us in time zones. But I was talking to her this morning when she was supposed to be working. But anyway,
She was working.
She was working. She was talking to me. But I was talking to Lindsay this morning, and I was like, we're in need of a topic for our show this morning. Drew and I had a few ideas, but sometimes it's tough and sometimes we go blank. So this was her idea of talking about guilt, especially in New Brunswick. She was mentioning that people are so over the top welcoming. Is that the way to say it, Drew?
They are pretty welcoming. Watch yourself.
So she was just saying, in New Brunswick, everybody wants to feed you, and everybody welcomes you into your home, whether you're family or not. And she was just saying how difficult it is to say no, especially at the holiday season with sugary treats and drinks and food. There's always food, and it seems like in New Brunswick, because Drew and I have spent a few Christmases too with our family there, that the food never goes away.
It's true.
Always food. Always more food. Always more food. Always more food. So that's what we wanted to talk about today, is how to not feel guilty, or give you some strategies on how to say no, or ways around not having so many sugary treats, or not having to say, sure, I'll eat for the 6th time or whatever it is this hour.
And yeah, there's so much going on at this time of year with food and treats and lack of exercise. Then there's stress and guilt. And I wanted to mention Nikki as well. Nikki also brought up she's part of our monthly membership group, and she brought up a topic as well of listening to your body. And then we'll be talking about the importance of listening to your body and then letting go of that guilt, because many times we're held back in some area and we want to get going, and then we have that internal guilt. And I dealt with that myself not too long ago as well.
That's right. Yeah, sometimes, it's difficult because we are always taught to listen to our body, listen to our body. Our body's going to tell us when to slow down, or when it's had enough, or when we need to relax and rest. But sometimes it's tough especially if it's an injury. It's difficult because you don't want to listen to your body, because you want to be exercising, you want to be active, you want to do what you've always done, but your body is resisting you. So it feels like this constant fight between yourself and then what your body's doing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today too, this morning.
That's right. I'm just setting up Instagram here. I'm going to have to ask you guys to stop sending text messages this early.
Because Drew's getting Instagram on.
Trying to get Instagram on, these messages keep popping up. Okay, so if you guys are, sometimes people watch start on Facebook and then they're like, I have to go somewhere. So we're going to run Instagram here. We don't always go on Instagram. Facebook's much better for us because we get to use our fancy camera. And then we have a program where we can drag your comments onto the screen. So I like that much more.
Yeah, it looks like we have a couple more people saying hi there, Drew. And Chantel said, holiday guilt, that's a good one, is what Chantel just said. Thanks, Chantel. If you guys would like to let us know as well, what is the most difficult thing for you, or what makes you feel guilty the most, I suppose, or hold on to guilt the most, you can let us know in the comments, and we would be happy to answer your questions that come up in the comments.
Okay, let's get to some of these. So Louise answered your hike question.
Oh, it was an awesome hike in Peter Loughy Park. Not too much snow there. Nice, Louise.
Yes, happy to hear you enjoyed. Louise hikes at least once a week.
Every Tuesday, right, Louise? I'm pretty sure every Tuesday they go on a hike with a group. I think that's so cool to be in a hiking group. Because Drew and I always are talking like, have to go to the mountains more, have to do more hiking, because we're right here. But I think it's great to be a part of a group or an organization, because then you are more focused and more, is motivated the right word? Like motivated to go.
Yeah, it's the same thing like for a fitness class, for example. If you're not one of those people that can do it on their own, there's so much benefit to having other people there working out with you and pushing you and challenging you. So, but we also recommend taking time for yourself and working out at home when you get a chance, so you can set yourself into a proper routine. But complementing the two, joining a class is always beneficial. Mm-hmm. And then we got Janice in here. Good morning, Janice. We are looking good. Thank you. Check out this place we got. So Janice, I don't know how long Janice is going to stick around, but if you have questions for her regarding monuments, just ask below and maybe she'll answer, or she'll definitely answer afterwards. We got Sue in here.
Hey, Sue. Good morning.
Sue said get up earlier then. Sorry.
I lost it.
I missed that. What are you talking about, Sue?
What did we miss? Katie! Hey, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Katie, we still have a book for you. How can we get that to you? We didn't get a chance to see.
We didn't get a chance to connect with you at the Disbury Market, Katie, so we still have your book. And we actually started at 8 this morning, Katie, so you're right on time.
Yeah, we usually when we go to a business, the business opens earlier. So Janice, maybe you could, if you're watching, Janice, tell us your hours of business, or if it's appointment only. Yeah,
I might have said, Janice, for people to drop in. But then Drew's like, I think it's appointment only. So you can let us know, Janice, if you're still watching in the comments, if it's business hours, if it's appointments, how that works.
Louise says every Tuesday with Seniors Outdoor Club of Calgary. That's awesome. So if anyone's in the Calgary area and wants to get active, Louise will let you know.
Yeah, you can definitely touch base with Louise, and she will have all kinds of hiking tips, hiking information. Maybe that's a better word, Louise. Hiking information for you.
We got Jason over here on Instagram. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jason.
We are talking about holiday tips, holiday guilt, holiday staying on track.
And Nikki, I just saw Nikki jump in here. Good morning, Nikki. We're also going to touch base on Nikki's question, which was how to
listen to your body
and not feel guilty for that. Because sometimes when we do have an ongoing issue, like a knee issue or foot issue, and we have to listen to our body to make sure it's healing properly, it's tough when we want to do the things that we've always done and we want to be active. And it's like this constant argument with yourself and your body, with your mind and your body.
And then the guilt comes with it.
And the guilt, yeah.
We'll talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So if you guys have questions for Janice about Serenity and Granite, about monuments, just leave them below, and we'll definitely set you up. Today we are going to be talking about letting go of that guilt, especially during the holiday season, and trying to stay on track. So
We also put a link to Serenity and Granite's Facebook page in the comments, so it'd be nice if you could go and like Janice's Facebook page as well.
That's right. We got Linda over here. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hopefully the seasons are going well, and you guys are having a happy holiday season.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the first tip? What can we go over?
Oh, sure. He's going to make me do the first tip.
Put her on
I
the
see
spot.
what he did there.
The first tip.
The first tip about letting...
You know what? I have a very serious question before we get into this.
Oh, dear.
Is that Grinch tree backwards that way, or does it go the other way?
I fixed it, so it's not backwards anymore.
This was a very...
Drew...
This is a very serious
No.
conversation before we started.
The reason it was backwards is because Drew put the bow. He's like, oh, turn the Grinch tree around. I'm like, but then it would be backwards. Because the bow was in the back, but I just slipped the bow around to the front.
I didn't move the bow.
I did!
I know. What?
So, Drew's like, oh, let's put the Grinch tree this way. And then the bow was in the back and the tag was in the front. And I said, that's backwards. But he really wanted it that way. So then I just flipped it around.
Oh my gosh, did anyone else follow?
He has no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, let me redo this.
No.
Drew wanted the Grinch tree this way. I don't know why, but he's very particular about that. But the bow was like this. I'll have to give you a visual. And the tag was in the front. And I said, Drew, it can't go that way. It's because it's backwards. And then I said, no, it's okay, Drew. I'll just flip the bow around. So then I did this. And I flipped the bow around, and I put the tag in the back, so now it's not backwards anymore.
Oh my gosh. How's that for a detailed explanation?
That's what happened, you guys.
That's what happens behind the scenes.
And you know what, you guys, if you're just tuning in, this Grinch tree is going to be the giveaway today. So thank you, Janice, for donating this lovely Grinch tree to give away.
Yeah.
So stick around to the end of the show. We'll be giving this beauty away.
Okay, we got Katie's laughing at us. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was entertaining.
Yeah, the Grinch tree looks great now, Chantal, because it's not backwards, right?
It's facing the right way. Okay, what did Janice have to say here? Okay, you want to read this one, or do you want me to?
I'll do it. Drop-ins are very much welcome. Love company. My regular business hours are 9 to 5, but it's slow in the winter months, so 10 to 5. Appointments are recommended if you are wanting to talk monuments.
And if you don't want to talk monuments, you just want to hang out, maybe you want to talk about Grinch trees, just pop in and Janice will be happy to entertain you. Okay.
All right.
You were going to share your first tip.
My first tip?
That's right.
It's difficult to pick just one tip, though.
Okay, well, we got some
But
time.
I'll speak from experience. So one of the most difficult things for me when first starting out and, letting people know, family know, friends know about our healthy living and was saying no, right? No, sorry, I don't eat that. I don't know why it's so hard to say no, but it is hard to say no because so much love, I think it's because so much love goes into preparing food. And you go to a family's house and they've spent all this time in the kitchen preparing you meals or preparing you treats. And then for you to say no feels so wrong or so bad because they've put so much time into it. And it's almost, we say yes out of reflex or out of obligation because we've never said no before. So the first few times that you say no is usually the hardest, but it does get easier as you go. And one of the things that I found the most helpful was to bring something of my own so that to share. It's not like, oh, I'm going to bring my own food and sit over here and eat my own food. But bring something healthier to share. So usually we choose, like Drew and I choose to bring our own dessert because then we can make a dessert that doesn't have refined sugar, doesn't have all of the unwanted ingredients, but then we can share that with our family as well. And some will choose to try it and some people won't, which is fine. But then there is an option or a choice for every person there.
Yeah, and I think that we are naturally we're people pleasers. Like we don't want to. The thing is I was thinking when you're kids like the worst thing is, well, most kids, the worst thing is to disappoint your parents. Like you'd rather have them mad at you than to disappoint them. So I think like as we get older, it's not that much different. We don't want to disappoint our friends or family. We don't want to be like, oh, they went to all this work, prepared all this food, and then we're like, sorry, I'm not going to eat it. We're disappointing them. So I think that comes from like at a young age, like inside of us. So we want to let you know that you're not so much disappointing them. And especially when you let them know ahead of time, I think that would be my number one tip. We have to let people know ahead of time that like we're working towards living a healthy lifestyle. I'm not going to eat deep fried appetizers. I'm not going to have a case of beer. Empty calories is something else we'll talk about here. But I think it's important to understand that let them know in advance, and then understand that that's your choice for your body. And doesn't matter what whoever says something or thinks something, none of that matters. You have to do this for yourself, and then push that guilt to the side because it means much more to you. Like your health means much more to you than someone else's opinion.
I don't know. I was kind of blanking out on what you were saying. I was like, I should add something to that, but I wasn't listening.
What were you thinking about?
I was being honest.
What were you thinking about?
I don't know where I went for a minute there.
Oh my gosh.
I left and then I was like, what is Drew talking about there? I hope nobody else did that. I hope what he said was informational.
Okay. That's enough. Dorothy's out of control. She's had a little bit of sugar this morning.
I did not have any sugar.
Dorothy, she drinks sometimes in the morning. Janice says, yes, love hanging out. So come by, pop in Serenity and Grand and hang out with Janice. You guys keep the hearts coming while we're cruising along here. That helps our video a bit. Makes us feel better. Just hit that heart button.
Makes Drew feel better.
Makes me feel better. Easiest to say no to dessert.
Yeah, you can do the whole, oh, I'm so full. No dessert for me, thanks. But yeah, and then if you do happen to bring your own dessert, then that's always a nice way, I suppose, out as well. A nice out as well.
That's right. That's a nice out. I don't know if you have to have an out. Like it's fine. Like I just think like we're grown-ups. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we go to family's house, and we still think we're like little kids. It's one thing to like to fight it. Like if you want it, just have it and let go of the guilt. But I think sometimes like we still feel like we're little kids in our parents' house, and like we don't want to like or disappoint them. Like I talked about, like you're a grown-up, you can make your own decisions. You can say no. You don't have to like make excuses or hide behind other reasons. You just say, no, I don't want that, thank you. But I think that goes back to living that healthy lifestyle and being like, I don't consume those as often as most other people. And
it goes back to informing them beforehand as well to decrease, I guess, the shock, the shock value instead of just showing up and being like, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need this, right? If you share beforehand, then they'll have a warning or they'll know. And also over time, like the first time is always the hardest, and then over time you grow and you learn together as well. So your family knows your needs and not that they have to necessarily cater to your needs, but they'll be prepared and they'll know ahead of time.
Well, you know what the thing is that usually you find that like first there's like different stages. You're like first of all there's like fear. Like what are they going to say? What are they going to think if we tell them that we're living a healthy lifestyle or we don't want dessert or deep fried appetizers? Like so there's fear, and then you're worried about what they're going to think about, and then you kind of get past all that, and then you're like, there's a common ground, you know. Like there might be some disappointment or disagreements on the other side, but then you find a common ground, and then you might find some support. I think in many cases, like we've had family members that were like, "Oh, I'm going to make this healthier option for you," or "What can I make you?" You know what I mean? So if you have that open conversation, then you have the ability to work together as opposed to kind of against each other. Yeah,
or a lot of times our family has told us, "We're going to be eating this. So what would you like? Like, what would you like to bring? Or what could we make for you that's different, right?"
Yeah. And I think you'll find that. And so many of us are afraid of, like, not having that support or having family members disagree. And I think that makes it so much more challenging. At least you put it out on the table and it's open disagreement instead of like passive aggressive. But I think that both, like we want to, like, again, like we're people pleasers, both sides would be. So even if you guys don't agree with each other at that time, I think that sooner or later you will. And then you'll find a common ground, like, well, maybe there'll be like, well, if you're not going to eat that, will you eat this? And like, yeah, sure, I'll eat that. So you'll find a negotiation.
That's right. A common, like you said, a common ground.
Yeah.
You'll find a common ground. It's not as hard as it sounds.
What does Nikki say here?
Nikki says, I have a nut allergy. It's easy to say no if desserts are full of nuts. Usually hard to resist the goodies otherwise. Yeah, and that's a good point that you bring up, Nikki, too, is, and Drew said it earlier, is if you want it, then have it, and then let go of the guilt. Don't keep eating the dessert for days and days and days after, like, I'm not physically eating the dessert, but thinking about it and festering and feeling guilt about it. But have something small. You know, a lot of times the desserts are huge plates, or you get a plate of all desserts, right? Pick one thing, have something small, and then move on.
That's right. There's a couple things that I wanted to mention. Like, you could share desserts. Like, many times we just want a taste of things, but there's so many. We want a taste of everything that it becomes like the whole
giant plate.
So you could share or have smaller pieces of a couple things. I think usually it's like our taste buds that want that like sugar.
Yeah.
So once you
sweet taste.
Yeah. So once you have a couple little bites, then you're okay. But I think when we put like a big piece on our plate, then first of all we feel obligated to eat it, and then of course we're not going to pass it up because it's on our plate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I was gonna say my next tip.
I want to hear your next tip.
Oh dear. It's gonna sound a little, I don't know. It might not sound so correct or so nice. But my next tip is to plan a certain amount of time to be at a function or to be at a party or to be at family's house. Because you know what it's like when you are there for so long. You know, if you have, there's always appetizers and then the meal and then the dessert. And then if you stay there well into the evening, then there's more drinks and then the food comes out again afterwards, right? So try your best. Like, don't like dine and dash, like eat and dash. But try your best to plan a certain amount of time that you want to be at the event, and then leave at an appropriate time so that you're not stuck with the food like coming out for round two.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You have the appetizers, the chocolates, the alcoholic beverages, whatever it is. Then you have your meal, and then people like sit around, open their belt buckles, watch TV, whatever it is, take a nap. And then later on in the evening, it's like round two, everything else comes out again. And then there's more, again, of course, there's more alcoholic beverages, and then while you're eating and visiting, or while you're drinking, visiting, you're eating. So we're not trying to say, like, don't enjoy family or get out of there as soon as you can. Just mean, like, have a set plan, like, get it, leave at a decent time so you're not sitting there and like continually being tempted by all the unhealthiness going on.
Mm-hmm. And you can always eat before you go. If you are going earlier than the meal and you know that there's going to be appetizers out for a couple hours, then we always suggest eating before you go so that when you get there, you're not so hungry that you're going to eat all of those appetizers. You're going to have a full belly. Moving into dinner, you'll be hungry, but you won't be like starving and just eat anything.
Yeah, it's so important because we're like, oh, we're going to have a big meal, or there's going to be all kinds of food, so you don't eat. You plan not to eat. Like, oh, I don't need to eat. There's going to be a bunch of food there.
Yeah.
Why would I eat here? But then you get there and you eat everything in sight. And then it's usually the most unhealthy things, like those come out first. The other thing is, so eating first, but Nikki brought up a good point. She says it's more challenging when you're the taster. So, but that's why it's important to bring healthy treats. So, Nikki, if you're the taster and you're creating something healthy, then it's okay to taste. But I mean, if you're always bringing something, or if you have something like some type of appetizer you can have while everyone else is having something you might not normally eat. That's important. And then bringing a dish or a dessert also will help out as well.
And it doesn't have to be something totally fancy and, I don't know, like something totally crazy. Oftentimes, Drew and I will just bring fruit. So, interesting story. Last Christmas, we bought a bunch of berries. We bought some strawberries, some raspberries, some blueberries. And we just put those on the table among the other desserts, like just little dessert bowls full. And my little niece, who was 2 at the time, comes up and she chooses the raspberries over the cookies and the other things. So I think it's important to give everybody the healthy choice, because even the little kids can have a healthy choice as well there and choose for themselves. And of course, she's 2. She was just grabbing what she wanted. But I thought it was so interesting that she chose to choose the raspberries. And not just a couple raspberries, remember?
No, she ate all of them.
There was like a bowl of raspberries on the table, and instead of like taking a couple and having them, she takes the whole bowl off the table and eats them all.
Yeah. So I didn't have any.
You didn't. That's okay.
I'm just kidding. Well, that's interesting. I haven't told this story in a while, but we had this family pancake breakfast, and they made like a lot of batter for the conventional like white flour pancakes, and then like we were given a healthier option, like whole wheat pancakes or whatever it was. Is that true? Is that right?
It was like our Complete Truth pancakes, wasn't it?
I don't know.
No?
It could have been.
I don't know if it was or not, or hemp pancakes or something.
Okay. Something a little
bit. It
bit.
was a healthier option.
It was a healthier option. So there was a smaller batch of this and a bigger batch of the conventional ones. And like most people went to the nicer ones.
Or the healthier ones?
The healthier ones. Like, so they actually our family had to actually start making more of the healthier pancake because people were going to that. And I think that we just don't consider that. We don't think that people will make that option for themselves. We don't think that they'll taste good. So if you have that option out there, even if you're the host, like, I don't know, Nikki, for example, you might be hosting, for example. I think many times we feel like as the host, people want the sugary treats. So again, we're people pleasers. We want to put those on the table. We want to make people happy. We want to make our guests happy, make sure they have a good time. And then we don't give them the option of something healthier, which a lot of people would choose on their own.
And not only that, but a lot of times people don't even know that it's, that it is a healthier treat. For example, we make a lot of our stuff with honey instead of refined sugar, and we use our Complete Truth protein powder instead of flour and things like that to make it healthier, applesauce instead of butter. And we offer it to like muffins or cookies to people, and they know it's healthy because it's us, I suppose. But a lot of people wouldn't even know the difference. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like take our cupcakes, like our chocolate peppermint cupcakes. Like they're delicious. Like you wouldn't even know?
No, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
No. We got a handful of comments here. Thanks for the comments, guys. We do enjoy them. So, Sue, do you want to read this one?
I got it. I am lucky that most of my immediate family eat like I do. I have also learned how to adapt stuff so it tastes like it used to, but healthier.
Awesome. Sue.
Yeah, always nice when family adapts along with us or just respects what we're doing as well.
And like I said, I think they would. Like sometimes it'll take more time, but I think most families would. Like they love you.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But it might take some time, but usually they'll adapt. And I know it's like super challenging and might not sound all that polite to say, but you have to, if they're not going to, you have to decide if that's where you want to spend that time, because I feel like they should, if that's something important to you, they should try to accommodate. Oh, we got Jane's in here. Morning, Jane.
Hi, Mom. My mom is babysitting this weekend. My niece and my nephew should go and be busy.
Are you going to be watching Hallmark movies, Jane?
We're going to be baking cookies and putting up the tree with a 3-year-old and not yet 1-year-old. Almost 1-year-old.
Sue says, when I quit drinking, other people were uncomfortable. Should we drink in front of her? I said, how I choose to live is my stuff. I'm not judging you.
And I think that's a good point, Sue, about bringing up judging, because sometimes I think that other people do think that because we choose to live the healthy way, we're going to judge you for not. But that's totally not the case. And I think it's important to remind your friends, remind your family that you go ahead and eat what you want. It's not going to bother us, right? We'll just eat what we want, right? We're not judging. So I think that's an important topic to bring up as well.
Yeah, great comment there, Sue. Like, we deal with that all the time. All the time. Like, when we have our carts in the grocery store,
people dodge us.
If we know people, they'll like not stop, or they'll like try
Go to the next aisle.
they'll like try to hide their cart and like talk to us while their cart's
they're like in front of their cart, like, ooh, don't look at my cart.
And we've had people be like, don't look at my cart. This is for like making a reason for their choosing
choices. Yeah,
and we're like we don't care. Like, we really don't care. And like, of course, we hope that people would make healthier choices for their health, for their families' health. Like, this is what we do. Like, we work hard to help other people live healthy. But if
we care about you,
but if you don't make those choices, we're not like, can you believe that?
Oh my gosh! You know what I saw?
Did you see what was in their cart? Like, we don't do that, honestly. So it's kind of funny, but we also have. It's the same thing. Like, when we go out, like. I don't feel like I have to drink anymore. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I want one. Like, it happens very, like, we might drink once a month or once every couple of months. We just don't anymore.
A drink.
Right. But I used to feel like if everyone else is drinking, I had to drink. And I don't feel like that anymore. And it sounds like you don't either, Sue. But I think you go through a stage in your life where you feel like you have to, or you feel like you want to please people. And then if you stick with it, you get past that and be like, it's normal for us to have like a glass of water while everyone else is having alcohol, maybe.
Yeah, it happened not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, when we were moving a friend. And, you know, when everybody's pitching in to help move, there's usually cases of beer lying around, right? And it just didn't even feel weird that we didn't go in the box of beer and grab one. Like, that didn't even feel weird anymore. We had our water with us, and nobody even like questioned us. And I mean, one person offered to us, and then it's like, oh yeah,
never mind.
Never mind. So it just takes some time for people to, for you to, I don't want to say teach people, but for people to understand what you do.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as the other way. Like, I was a drinker and partier in college, like most college kids. And then
I wasn't. I hit the books.
And it was normal. Someone, like, you get to a party, someone tosses you a beer, or you go to the liquor store before you go somewhere, and that became the norm. Like, that was expected. So if you kind of flip the script and when you go, you don't do that, people start to understand, and they see what you're doing, and they're okay. They become okay with it because that's your normal. That's what you do.
That's right.
We got a couple of comments here. Virginia, oh my gosh, Virginia, listening from Germany.
Wow, Virginia.
We haven't heard from you in forever. How are things going? Send us a note or a message. We hope you're transitioned home. I believe you're from Germany, and Virginia was out here in Olds, and now back in Germany. So great to hear from you. Thanks for saying hi and tuning in. We got James. He says, hello there. Those cupcakes are delicious. They are amazing, aren't they, James? And then Sue. What did Sue say there? Sorry?
I have a kombucha at family get-togethers. That's always nice to have on hand, too.
And you know what's nice is that, like, having kombucha, like a growler, or making your own, or just drinking it in general, it's becoming more normal. So, and I think it's a great option, like having like a sparkling flavored kombucha. Like, you know, when we go to like Christine's house,
yes,
we have a friend that makes all kinds of different flavors. So it's like, you guys want a kombucha? Do you want a tea? Sometimes like you want a glass of wine, and it's always like kombucha. Right.
Yeah, we always pick her kombucha.
Kombucha, and of course then usually there's a tea in the evening, but it's not like you have to have an alcoholic beverage because that's all that's being offered.
And it's funny that you mentioned, Drew, that kombucha is becoming more popular because when we first started, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Like to people, it was so not normal.
Yeah.
But now we're even seeing it, when you go out, it's on menus now and at different restaurants and places that you wouldn't always expect either. Not just at like specialty places, especially juice bars or specialty coffee shops. It's at actual restaurants now too.
Yeah.
If you look for it.
Yeah, sometimes you have to ask or... but anyways, it's really nice to have those healthy options and for these things to become more normal because I think like sometimes we don't feel welcome in many places. You're like, what are they doing? Like, or you have a green smoothie or you try to order something like that and people are like, what? You want a what? So it's nice that those are becoming more available for us and like people that are trying to live healthier.
That's right.
Okay.
Let's see what our other comments are. You hit them.
Hi, Joanna. We got Joanna here coming on Instagram.
Hey, Joanna.
How's your CTP doing? Joanna sent this awesome picture of CTP and soup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one, I actually reposted that, and it did really well. So people love that idea. So thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in here with us. You're doing some kind of yoga challenge? Ooh. Tell me about that. And, okay, Virginia said a couple things here.
Enjoying and listening and all going well over here.
Should enjoy listening. Thank you. We're glad you're enjoying the show. Happy to hear your transition went well, Virginia.
Louise says, people still offer me gluten-filled food even though they know I have celiac disease. Out of a habit, maybe? Maybe they're testing me. Or just forgot.
Maybe they're trying to see if you really do have it. Shoot, I lost it. I think, I just want to say it's probably out of habit, Louise, or they don't want you to feel left out. Mm. They probably don't want to be like, maybe she wants to be asked or not. Sometimes people don't want, you don't want people to feel left out or you don't want to feel people like they're not included.
Right.
So I'd imagine that has something to do with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's another comment.
Oh, I was wondering what you were waiting for.
Well, he keeps hiding the comments and I can't see them.
It's on the side. Okay.
Sue says, I'm surprised when I have to explain about kombucha, but I love to educate. Yeah, it's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice to teach people new things. But I don't think it's so much. I feel like so many people know about it now. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be, they're not like, what? Some people still aren't willing to try it or have it on a regular basis, which is fine. Like, we all have our own choices, but I think more and more people are, or at least know what it is or have heard of it.
And a lot of people, I would say, like most people would be buying it, but it's nice that there are local options as well. There's, local companies producing it and making it as well. So that's nice that you can go fill up a growler at a local shop. We just did a live show at the Barnos, and they have a local company that makes it out of Calgary. So it's nice that we have those options that we can go in and do it because I think that the SCOBY still freaks a lot of people out.
Still freaks you out?
I just don't want to touch it. It's like a jellyfish.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
I'm spoiled because Drew does it, so I don't have to do it. If I was forced to do it, then I'd have to do it, but I'm spoiled that way.
Joanna says 25 days of booty yoga. Taking my certification in the new year.
Ooh,
pretty excited. And
that's awesome.
I love CTP. That's awesome. Well, let us know how it goes. Maybe you can, I don't know where you must be around here, Joanna. I don't know exactly where you live, but maybe I'll come and do a yoga class with you. Tell them about our experience at the beach with
Bar.
What was Booty? Was that Booty Bar?
It was Bar. I don't know. I'm not totally familiar with the booty yoga, so maybe you can help us out, but I'll explain to you our experience of this yoga class, and maybe you can tell us if it's bootyish. But anyway, we had this unlimited pass for 2 weeks, I think, 10 days or 2 weeks, when we were at the beach to this one yoga studio, and they did all kinds of yoga, like every kind you can imagine they had instructors for. It was a really like top-notch facility, but they had this amazing deal on for an unlimited pass for a really nice price. So Drew and I couldn't pass it up. But we're like, if we have this unlimited pass for 2 weeks, we're going to as many classes as we can. And we took it so seriously. I think sometimes we did 2 a day. It was a lot of yoga, but we really liked it. But we never knew what this... There was one class called bar yoga.
I didn't know where half the yoga classes were.
And we're like, okay, let's try this bar yoga. We had no idea. But it was like a bar, like a ballet bar that you lined up at. For not all the exercises, but some of them, right? Or was it all at the bar?
Well, you kind of laid on the floor and your feet were kind of against the bar or near the bar.
Yeah.
And then there was definitely ones where you're standing against, on the bar.
Yeah, and anyway, the most uncomfortable point. Drew's the only man in the class, by the way, in this class. And we are working on our glutes at this one point, and she's telling us about tightening our glutes and we're doing these glute exercises, which is like the last body part a man wants to work, I think, right? Very uncomfortable for a man. She's like, okay, show me those Beyonce booties. And Drew's like, oh my gosh, where's the door? I need out of here.
Oh my gosh. It was so embarrassing. Not embarrassing, but they were like doing all these like glute isolation exercises. And I was like, it was just so uncomfortable. She's like, squeeze your glutes. Turn your glutes. And I was like, I gotta get out of here.
I'm a man.
I don't need them. Beyonce booty. And as we often, we still go around that same area, so we often laugh and go over this story while we're driving by.
I'll be like, Drew, show me your Beyonce booty.
So, the moral of the story is do some research before you jump into a
class.
May or may not be. It was a good experience. It was a fun experience. We did so many different yoga classes, and they were so hard. They were some of those yoga classes were way harder than a regular workout. Mm-hmm. And you're shaking and you're dripping and sweating. It was the summertime there. There's no AC, so it was 100 degrees. Mm-hmm. And you're doing all these crazy exercises, like shaking and twisting. And
my
bending.
mat was usually soaked of sweat because it was upstairs on the second level of the building, and like Drew said, there's no AC. You're at the beach. There's no AC. So you're sweating. Yeah, shaking. Oh, that was a good experience.
Jane says, love kombucha, not Greg's.
You don't drink Dad's kombucha, Mom?
Jane. Greg works hard for that kombucha.
I hope he drinks it.
Okay, so I want to talk about the letting go of the guilt when it comes to our own personal things that we are dealing with.
Okay.
So when we all I suppose listening to your body would be the easiest thing, and I don't mean listening to your body being you're rolling out of bed and you're a bit tired and you're like, maybe
not today.
I don't want to go work out today. I just mean how can I start? I just mean when things come up in our body, our body tells us things all the time. Let's say, for example, our back is a bit stiff. We're doing a bit more work on the computer and our back is a bit stiff. Our back is telling us we need to be more active and maybe get up and down more often or move away from your desk or chair, for example.
Do some stretches.
When something comes up at the gym, maybe your shoulder is often sore. For instance, funny, I pointed to mine. This is my stress shoulder. So usually when I'm stressed out, I get this knot in my shoulder, and you can actually feel it, and it grows, and it's painful during that stressful time. So my body's telling me that I need to reduce the stress in my life. I need to find ways to do more meditation, take a detox bath, whatever it is to help me reduce the stress in our lives. So there are things that our body tells us on a regular basis, and many times we don't listen. Sometimes, if we're a super intense exerciser, let's say, maybe we're training for something in particular, and we don't listen. And we're like, no, I don't want to take a break. I don't want to slow down. That's when injuries come up. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you get to extremes where you actually have real injuries, and you're not able to do the things that you normally do or things that you want to do. And if we don't listen to our body, we just make it worse. So I want to tell you, what first thing is that these things do come up, and we have to listen to our body. And if we don't relax and take a step back, we will make it worse. And then the other thing is we need to let go of the guilt around that. So if we continually feel guilty about taking a step back or about relaxing, skipping a workout, whatever it may be, then it makes it worse. It's just like we talk about letting go of the guilt when we talk about like eating a meal we don't usually eat, or eating a meal we probably shouldn't eat, not so healthy. We have to eat it, enjoy it, let it go, and move on. And it's the same thing with maybe not feeling up to working out or going through an injury, whatever it is. We have to let go of that guilt and move on. Otherwise, that guilt will keep repeating itself and be more detrimental to our bodies.
And a lot of times we fester on what we can't do. Can't do this anymore. Can't do that anymore. Well, this won't work. That won't work. But I think what we need to do is find the things that we can do and focus on those. And even if they're not close, sometimes they're, if we're going through an injury, we have to do things that seem so minimal to what we used to do. But we need to appreciate that we can still do something and focus on that instead of what we can't do.
Well, you know what's interesting? I can think about the monthly membership, for example. Like, if there's someone new comes into our membership, we offer meal plans, recipes, grocery shopping list. That's a lot. Like, usually you would go to a nutritionist, and that's all they would do is focus on just the food. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that we offer. And then we offer workouts. So we have video workouts, video demonstrations, printable PDFs for your week planned in advance. And that's a lot. Many people just go to the gym and find a personal trainer, or they just go and try to work out. And then on top of that, we offer group support. So that's 3 main areas we feel you need to see the whole picture, to get the results you're looking for. So those are 3 main areas. So let's say we put someone into the membership group, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so much. Like, it's overwhelming. So what we do is we tell people to take it one step at a time, like just focus on nutrition, for example. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we offer 6 different types of meals a day. So it becomes a lot to deal with. So we say, not only do we break it down in segments, we say, don't worry about exercise right now. Don't even worry about the group maybe. Don't worry about everything that's going on. Just focus yourself on 3 meals a day. And if you could focus on 3 meals a day, then we can have a starting point and we can build up. So when it comes to an injury, let's say, or something that you're not able to physically do, then maybe your body's or your life's telling you, maybe you need to focus on nutrition. Maybe you should go get your groceries and start meal planning and focus on that area of your life instead of fighting the areas where your body's trying to tell you to take a step back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even when we're so hard on ourselves. I just wrote a post recently about how we are our own worst critics. We're so hard on ourselves, and taking it one step at a time is going to help us be more successful as well. So if we can just change our mindset and think and change it around success doing everything. Because a lot of times that's where we judge, or that's how we calculate our successes. How many things can we do at one time, right? So with the membership that Drew was explaining, this, if we gauge our success on the meal plan, the exercise, and the group, we would judge our success on, can we do all 3 of those all at once perfectly? Instead of just focusing on one thing. And if we are doing 3 or 4 things half of our potential, but we could focus our attention more on doing one thing really well, we'd be better off than trying to do 3 or 4 things half or a quarter to our potential.
Yeah, and different things come up in our lives. Like, maybe we're used to doing everything. Mm-hmm. Like, we're used to doing well with nutrition, exercising regularly, and like, for me, I think the most beneficial thing is part of all that is the group. Mm-hmm. Personally, some other people might have different opinions, but having that support, having that lifestyle of people that are encouraging and loving, and I think that means so much more than anything, to be honest with you. But if you can, usually used to participating in all of that, and something comes up in your life and you can only do one of those things. Mm. Do one of those things that you can do, and then appreciate that you're focusing on an area where you usually couldn't maybe.
Mm-hmm. And how that relates back to injuries is instead of focusing on, like we were talking before, instead of focusing on what you can't do, so I can't do the exercises I normally do, or I don't have the stamina, or I can't do it for as long as I used to do, then you focus on what you can do, and you do that really, really well, right? Maybe you used to run for 30 minutes, but now you have a foot injury or a knee injury and you can't run at all. Well, focus on maybe walking for 5 minutes and just do that really well, really consistently, and then build on from there to try to get yourself, let your body heal and get yourself back to where you were as your body allows you.
Or maybe you spend that time, like most people don't stretch, for example,
right,
which is where most injuries come from. So maybe instead of doing the 30 minutes of running that you may have usually done, maybe you spend 30 minutes of stretching, or something similar. Maybe you're on the bike, or maybe you're a person that really doesn't like the bike or the elliptical. But using different forms of cardio is beneficial in overall holistic type of approach. So instead of always running and pounding on your joints and putting stress on your ligaments, for example, maybe you go and ride the bike, or you do the elliptical, which is very easy on your joints, and you can still get your cardio in. And I think that maybe you'll come to enjoy something different as well. And again, that's listening to your body and not feeling so guilty for the things you're not able to do.
That's right. And finding something that we can do, appreciating that we can do it, and do it really well.
So I put this link here. I just pulled it up on the screen. It said, Dorothy talked about we truly are our own worst critics now, aren't we? So you can click on that to read.
It's not long. It's a short one. Isn't it?
It's a short one.
Yeah.
And then...
Look, I wrote it on. Isn't it short?
Let's see what we got here. Sorry, guys. Just catching up on comments here. What did Louise say? Okay.
Oh. We missed a lot of comments.
We missed a few.
Men need to have nice booties too. Am I right, ladies?
Oh.
Back to the booty bar.
Oh
comments.
my god.
And my mom says, absolutely, Louise.
Keep it clean, you two. What does Chantal say?
Chantal says the support in the monthly membership is amazing. Thank you, Chantal.
Yes, thank you so much, Chantal. We love having you part of our group.
Shauna says the monthly membership is awesome. Thank you, Shauna.
Thanks, Shauna. We got Louise in here.
Louise says monthly membership is one of the best things I've done for myself. Aw.
It means a lot. Thank you so much, Louise.
We are so lucky to have you guys.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. We are so fortunate to wake up with you guys every day. You're like, first thing I look at is our group, and then the last thing at night. You guys are amazing. Yeah,
and I always say this, but I can't say it enough. It's how when Drew and I started the monthly membership a handful of years ago, we never dreamed that, our members in our monthly membership will become some of our closest friends. But we're so fortunate that has happened because, like you said, we enjoy waking up every morning and connecting with everybody in our group, and the same thing at nighttime. It's the last thing we do before we go to bed.
We're actually having a true form Christmas party we're looking forward to.
Yes, it's going to be fun!
Yeah. Get excited. Shauna says, I focus on the workouts. The meal plan I look through for ideas, but love creating and experiencing in my kitchen. That's awesome. And that's what we're there for. Like, we want you to be able to have the lifestyle that you want. Like, I think it'd be very challenging to be like, run a program like we run and be like, no, you have to do exactly what we say. And you're not, a lot of them are like, you're not going to get results. Right? You're going to get the results you want for your lifestyle if you adapt and change things individually. That's why I didn't, it's funny, that's why I didn't release Detoxify Yourself for a couple of years. Like, I was doing personal training and I was talking about meal plans and helping people understand about food. And I was worried. I didn't want to release my meal plan. I didn't want to share my book with people because one meal plan doesn't work for everyone. Like, there's no cookie cutter program that is going to work for everyone. You have to do what's best for your own body. So now I try to explain that and share Detoxify Yourself with people, helping them understand that these are ideas, these are suggestions. You can change them, and you can do what's best for your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we always think when there's a meal plan or a program that we have to follow it to the T. But Drew and I always encourage you to take it on and adapt it to your own needs, your own lifestyle as well.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jake. We wish you could come too.
Yeah.
We'll have to come to the east and have a party. Joanna said we lost connection on Instagram. Sorry, Joanna. Hopefully it's going okay now. You have a book. Yes, I have a book, Joanna. It's called Detoxify Yourself. I can send you a link if you like. Or you can go to trueformlife.com and /detoxify yourself, and it'll take you there. Actually, a bestseller in Calgary. Excuse me while I pat myself on the back here. A couple years ago. It was on the local news. And, okay. That's enough. I was on the local news with it as well. And I don't want to share any spoilers. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But we'll share more details. Actually, if you head over to our True Form Facebook page as well, I think yesterday I put up a post about it. It's funny. I was telling our members we're pretty much out of books. It's self-published, of course, and we order books in stacks of 100. They're pretty expensive, and most people think you make a ton of money when you're an author, but you don't. When I first ordered, we ordered how many ordered? 2,000.
We ordered a lot of books.
Well, I think I ordered the first time I released the book, I only ordered 75, and I was terrified that I wouldn't sell even 5. So I was like, got all these books, and no one's gonna buy them. So that was super scary. And then those sold in 2 weeks. And then I went to a big publishing house, and I ordered would it be 2,000?
No,
not that many.
I don't think so. I thought it was only a couple hundred, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I think maybe the price was maybe it cost a couple $1,000s to get this big stack of books, and we had these boxes of books around the house, and it's challenging. I was starting out in business, I didn't have much money, I didn't have a couple $1,000s to sit on the shelf, but I was everyone's oh, you have to get lots of books so your margins are bigger. So I got all these books, and I was trying to sell them, and it took a while, but.
Book signings, remember?
Oh, yeah. I did book signings at Chapters. We had books all over Calgary, all over a lot of different places. Mm-hmm. So, excuse me. So I was doing book signings, and we sold all those books. Then we ordered another 100. Not too long ago, we ordered another 100. Now we're out again, so I was like, should we order another bunch? Then I was like, well, it's detox season's coming up here in January, so we went and ordered another 100. So I was just telling our members, I was like, hey, guys, just spent a bunch of money on another 100 books. So
the best time of year. I'm like, great, Drew. Our books are needing refilled at this time of year.
Yeah. Oh, it's always something, right? Especially at this time of year. Our water heater just broke, so that wasn't cheap. Anyways, so we got all these books. I was like, hey guys, I just ordered 100 books. We've got a lot of work to do. See what I did there? So great stocking stuffers.
Yes.
Or gift ideas, Joanna, and everyone else listening.
Yeah.
I didn't plug the computer in, so I have to go.
I'll grab it.
Okay.
I can grab it.
You should have grabbed it while I was talking about detoxify yourself. Definitely detoxify yourself, especially coming up in January, is a great idea. We do have discounts if you order 3 or more as well. But if you guys have questions with being active around the holiday season and letting go of the guilt, we really feel like it's important to take positive steps forward now. Most people wait till January and they're like, I'm going to go. Probably have to get the extension cord. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. A lot of times people wait till January. They're like, oh, I'm going to wait to get started to a fitness program or do something more active. And I feel like it's the worst time of year, to be honest with you. And we need to take action now. We need to start developing healthy habits, and that will make our lives so much easier moving forward. Okay. Joanna says, I want to buy one. Awesome. Yay. You got one. 99 more books to sell. I wonder if I should do, sometimes we do charts. I wonder if I should do a chart.
Oh, that would be fun.
And be like, I want to sell 100 books. Who's coming with me?
Who's coming?
So we're going to wrap things up here. If you didn't know, we have this little Grinch tree here, and I'll bring it over here for Instagram as well. Janice bought this locally, and she wants to do...
I'm back.
Did you get it plugged in?
Got plugged in.
All right. Excuse me.
Not just a pretty face.
I knew you could do it. I had full faith. So we're going to do a giveaway. And what can we do? We're going to do a giveaway for the Grinch tree. So if you're still here, let's...
How many do we need? 5?
Do a draw.
I am not a Grinch.
I'm not... for the Grinch tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not a Christmas Grinch. No, I don't know. That's just an idea.
Sure. Let's do it. Dorothy wants to do I'm not a Christmas Grinch.
I am not a Christmas Grinch.
That's fun. Okay, so all you have to do is say, I'm not a Christmas Grinch in the comments, and we will put your name down. So we do this for a couple reasons. First of all, like hearts, for example, they help our page, like, I suppose move up in rankings. It makes it easier for other people to see pages. We're actually doing an entrepreneur night just on Facebook this Wednesday coming up at Our Flames Restaurant. I am so excited about it.
And what he means just on Facebook, he means that our topic will be, how do I say?
Topic will be directed on Facebook.
Directed towards Facebook.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about how to grow your audience, how to use Facebook properly, how to communicate, how to make connections, what content to put up.
How to increase, did you say that?
Yeah, how to increase viewership. And so we're super excited about that. But so I'm going to explain this. A lot of people don't know, like hearts, for example. So if you click on one of your friends' posts, or maybe they run a business, if you click a like, that will show up on your news feed more often. Let's say a lot of people don't know that. That's why we're like, hey, like our posts, or we always appreciate if you share a post, if you like a post, if you comment on a post. That's why we ask questions on our page, for example. Like that helps our page out, and it gives us a chance to expand and let people know. More people know who we are, what we do, and what we have to offer. So that's why we're like, hit the hearts button. Or when we ask a question, we always appreciate those comments. So in this particular case, we ask for first of all, we want to know who's here, because some people don't want to be entered into a draw, so that's fine. And then the other one is it helps our video kind of move up in rankings as well. So we got you, Joanna, here. So I'll put in Joanna there on Instagram.
Alrighty.
And then we have these comments coming through as well. So,
Okay, I'm ready. I got my little papers.
Okay, we got Shauna.
Oh, this second. 10 difficulties. There's another one.
The sun is just coming up over the trees, so that's why you see us.
Glowing.
This would be nice right here, like this one. Oh, it's like angelic.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Chantel.
We got Chantel.
Chantel, we could keep it safe for you until you come visit us for the party. If you make sure.
Shauna. Chantel. Louise. If you are a Christmas Grinch, you can say, I am a Christmas Grinch.
I am, but I don't think there's many Grinches around.
We got Sue. Sue. And then we have Sue says, I like your advertising. It's not in your face.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, Sue. That means, unless it's a Google retargeting thing. Sue's like, if you go to our website, we pay for Google Ads. Like, you kind of have to now. If you run a business. Melinda. So Sue's like, if I'm on a website, I see you guys pop up. Like, that's an advertisement that we pay for. I think you kind of have to these days, because there's so many businesses out there. Janice said the same thing. She's like, how do you do that? But if you go to our website, it tracks. Like, it tracks to see if you go to the website from your computer, and then you go to another one, and you go to a website where there's paid ads, our stuff pops up, and it's normal. It's what
pop up on your screen.
It's kind of what you do. But our goal isn't to that's something we'll be teaching at this event. Like, I don't think it's a great way to advertise. I don't think it's a great way to advertise for people, just to put up products, products on your page. I don't want to see that. Most people don't want to see that. And it's challenging because people they start a business and they're like, oh, I need to sell my products. So all they do is throw up products on their page, and then you get unfollowers and you get people that don't want to be your customers. So I think that's the wrong way to go about it. Like for us, we want to offer information. Like that's our goal, is to help you improve your lifestyle through information as much as possible. And if you want to use our services, if we've given you enough information or if we've given you enough value, then we have products to buy, because that's how we feed ourselves. So
we stay warm.
So if we give you information like on smoothies, if we teach you how to make healthy baking, for example, if you buy, then maybe you'd be interested in trying Complete Truth Protein. Joanna's over here talking about, I didn't know you had a book, so clearly I didn't do a good job of advertising Detoxify Yourself. But
I just noticed, sorry Drew, I'm interrupting you, but there's only a minute and a half left on
yeah, we have
Instagram.
to got things up there. So just give me a second here.
Okay.
So I was just saying that like our goal isn't to like be in your face with ads and products. It's about giving information. So that's kind of how we go about running business. So thanks, Sue. We appreciate that you appreciate how we go about doing what we do. We have a poor connection. We'll see if we reconnect. Chantel said, interesting. I was wondering why I see your ads everywhere.
Because we love you, Chantel. That's why.
So yeah, and a lot of people don't know, like we don't know how the business world works, or how it's like online marketing is kind of what we do. So we are always trying to be ahead of the trends. We're trying to figure out how we can reach a bigger audience and help more people. Really, that's our goal, is to help as many people as we possibly can live a healthy lifestyle. So that's what we have going on. So we're going to read these names out here.
Okay. I got everybody, right?
Louise says, you do have a choice though. Facebook allows you to hide ads from certain advertisers.
Oh.
Yeah, from certain people, you can choose it. You can do everything. Like if you don't know like the back end of the business, a lot of people probably don't even want to know what Facebook ads can target. They can target absolutely everything. We haven't got into it that in depth. We kind of do a general type of ad, like paid advertising. We're kind of hoping, and we feel that if we do enough good quality advertising. That's why sometimes like we'll ask you to share a post, or like, will you share this video? Because I feel like that is more value than paying Google or paying Facebook a bunch of money for ads for people that don't care. Usually our referrals come from our fans and our followers, that people know us and people enjoy what we do. You say, hey, you got to check these guys out. That's where our customers really come from, not from like random ads that people have never heard of us before. So, we are going to do our draw. What are you doing?
I was opening this. Maybe it could go in there. Maybe not.
What if there was ashes in there?
That's probably not a good idea. Sorry, Janice. Not sure I was supposed to do that. I was going to use it as like to draw the ticket, but maybe that's not such a good idea.
Okay, let's do the draw. We should mention here before we go that we're here today at Serenity in Granite. This is Janice's shop. It's amazing. It's very warm and welcoming. So she does monuments so she would design a customized monument for someone that would have passed away in your life. So a family member, a loved one, and basically, I hope this is okay to say, Janice, but they used to be called headstones. So that might be a bit easier for you to correlate monuments. So if you see behind us, go inside for a second. If you see behind us, she actually has them all here, like different ones that she will custom design for you. So it's very cool. We talked about earlier how we should have a plan, because we should know these are things that we may not want to talk about, may not want to discuss or think about, but we're all going to go through a time in our lives where a loved one is going to pass on, and we should have a plan. We should know where we're going, who we're working with. Be a little prepared. And like coming into this space, like warm and welcoming space, and Janice is going to feel like a family member as soon as you meet her. So dealing or working with someone like that at a challenging time is important.
It means so much, right? To come into a space where you feel welcome and it's warm, and you can have a relationship or connection with somebody to help guide you through a hard time.
That's right.
Make decisions
that
are difficult.
Yeah, so if you're dealing with that, not sure where to go or what to do, come and talk to Janice. if she can't help you, like this is what she does. She'll be able to help you get through and figure out what you need to do, what steps to take. And if it doesn't work out, specifically between the two of you for whatever reason, she'll be able to direct you. And I think that's so important to be like, where can I go? What's the next step? So stop in at Serenity and Granite and find out. You ready?
Ready.
What's going on?
You're going to open your hands. Shake them up. Okay.
You're picking this time?
He's getting a little...
You like those moves?
It's a little crazy.
Look at those moves.
I am.
Woo!
That's a little risky.
Okay.
Like you lost the
I think
name.
it's risque.
Risque? Okay, got just one. Ready?
Make it rain.
Hey.
What?
Can you stop following the rules?
Oh, what's the rules?
Do not do that. Okay, Drew, you read it. I'm opening it. Da, da, da. No!
Joanna! She's not even watching.
Joanna well, she was on Instagram, and Instagram got cut off, but Joanna was watching the show.
Yeah, we'll have to tell her. She'll be excited. I don't even know if she has Facebook. She's, likes Instagram.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Good for her. Well, maybe we can get her a book and a green streak at the same time.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So this is going to Joanna's home.
And then, so, what do we have coming up here?
Today's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. So
That's as far as I got.
It's been crazy time for us. I'm sure it's been a crazy time for you guys as well. We'll have Cooking with Dorothy coming back soon.
Yes.
So we haven't forgotten about you guys or any of that. That's coming back up Tuesday nights. We'll let you know. We have a newsletter specifically for Cooking with Dorothy that you can sign up for. I'll leave that in the comments.
We have our event coming up on Wednesday, so our entrepreneur event that Drew talked about briefly. I'm so happy I said that word right now. It's a hard word. So we do have that event coming up on Wednesday, the 12th, at Our Flames in Olds. It's starting at 7, and we're focusing on Facebook for businesses. So if you would like to come by and join us, Drew, maybe you can put a link up in the comments about that as well, so that you can register.
That's right.
So
Janice is going to be there.
Yes, Janice is going to be there, and we're just so grateful with all of the interest we've had. This is our second event. After our first event, people were asking, when's the next one? We're like, oh, we haven't got that far yet. But it was so nice that we could have one right away, because it's kind of been a goal of ours to create something that could be done on a regular basis, entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs, because when we work together and form little relationships and community together, then we're all able to grow. So
yeah, we feel it's so important to work with local businesses and grow your audiences together. That's why we go to these other businesses and do our show, because we want to show you what's in the community, what services and products are being offered. And then, so the Entrepreneur Night is a great way to make connections. It's a great way to meet new people and talk business. Like, we talk about our challenges. In this one here in particular, we're going to talk about how to run Facebook properly. And I have tons of information. I've been experimenting and failing and being successful in different ways with Facebook for years. So I want to share that with people that aren't exactly sure how to use it or need some help.
And it's funny because it really could be like a full day workshop.
Yeah.
So I said to Drew, how are you going to just talk for a little bit about this? Because it's so big, but it's going to be a good night. That's Wednesday, the 12th.
That's right. And then don't forget about our YouTube channel. We haven't talked about it as much. Things have been so crazy. We took a step back from our day in the life, D&D adventures. But you can check out past videos on YouTube. All of our videos, like this video is going to go up on YouTube. All of our past videos go up on YouTube. So we'd love it if you subscribe to our channel. And anytime you comment or like there, it also helps our videos and helps our channel as well. So
the last thing I wanted to mention was our Christmas package. We have a special on right now for a 1-pound bag of each of our Complete Truth protein powders. So there's one, if you're unsure or if you haven't used Complete Truth protein before, we have one for smoothies that you can throw into smoothies to increase your energy, aid in digestion. And then we have another one for baking. That's great to replace conventional flour with a healthier option for baking as well. So both of those 1 pound bags plus a Detoxify Yourself book is available in our Christmas package. And it's great because a lot of people want to try both. They want to try it in baking and they want to try it in smoothies. So if you're thinking about it for a gift for somebody, it's a great gift because they get to try each of the protein powders and then they get to learn how to use it with the book, because the book will show you how to use Complete Truth Protein. So
the book she's talking about is Detoxify Yourself,
yes,
which I talked about earlier in the show.
I think I called it a book, but Detoxify Yourself. So if you're looking to support local and looking for something to give the gift of health for Christmas, we definitely suggest that.
And it's on sale. It's a Christmas package. It's 25% off for that package. Mm-hmm. So Janice says, I'll be there. Really appreciate all the connections and support from other business owners.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Great.
I wish I could share, there's so many people that, I know a lot of business owners in town. I've messaged over 100 people, if you could imagine.
Oh, I don't. Doesn't surprise me, you guys.
That's how excited I am. We get a good number. Last time we had 20. We'll probably have about 20 this time. But I wish I could explain to every business owner how valuable this is. To make connections, like face-to-face connections, to be able to talk and to be able to have other business owners help solve your problems. It's invaluable. If I had something like this when I first started, that's why I'm so excited and passionate about it, because I didn't have this. I was kind of blind, guessing and testing and failing. So if I had this, I had so much more advantage, and I wish I could share that with many more entrepreneurs and be like, you need to be here. So much value in one night. Anyways, we're going to wrap things up. I do need to take a screenshot though before we go. Okay. This is for us. Oh, let's get Serenity granted in there.
Do you like my jazz hands?
Okay, wait. You ready? Okay, wait. I gotta do another one. We're almost wrapping things up, guys. We're out of here right away. Are you done? How about a... Oh,
that one's gonna be funny.
Get off.
You doing another?
Okay. I'm waiting for that to leave, but it's not leaving. Oh, there you go. Okay, one more. Can you do a decent one?
Like a serious one?
Can you just smile?
Oh, I don't like this one. That's my just smile.
Okay, we're out of here. If you guys are coming to our Christmas party, True 4 members, we can't wait to see you. Luis said have a great weekend. Everyone, wonderful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting local. We wouldn't be here. We literally would not be here without you. So thank you so much for everything you do to support us.
Yes, thank you. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you on the next live show.
Wait. Oh, all right. See you guys.
Bye.